How to master the monopoly mindset. Warren Buffett's secrets for CEOs to avoid mistakes. What if I told you that the exact strategy Warren Buffett used to build a $100 billion empire is the opposite of what 99% of CEOs are doing right now? And what if this one shift could stop you from working 80-hour weeks while your competitors somehow print money in their sleep? Stay with me for the next 6 minutes because I'm about to reveal the monopolistic approach that helped me go from starting a business with literally $0 to building multiple successful ventures, and why being approximately right beats being precisely wrong every single time. Warren Buffett said it best: it's better to be approximately right than precisely wrong. Yet most CEOs obsess over being precisely competitive when they should be approximately monopolistic. Peter Thiel said, "Competition is for losers." But here's where most people buy strategic thinking methods and completely miss the point. They think monopoly means crushing competitors with superior products. Wrong. True monopolistic thinking means making competition irrelevant by owning the conversation. This isn't about building a better mousetrap. It's about becoming the person who teaches others how mousetraps work. When I started my first business with nothing but a borrowed laptop and an overdraft, I couldn't compete on resources, but I could compete on thinking, and that made all the difference. Here's the authority building system that changes everything. Part 1, share frameworks, not just results. Most business leaders hoard their methods like state secrets. Big mistake. When you use authority framework tools openly, you don't lose competitive advantage, you create it. Harvard's Clayton Christensen noted the single most important thing for any company is to keep learning. But here's the twist. When you teach your learning, you become the go-to authority. I started sharing my business development methodology before I even had significant results. Counterintuitive? Absolutely. Effective? The proof is in the pudding. So part 2, make prospects feel behind. The best authority paradox method isn't to make people feel stupid. It's to make them feel like they're missing out on something important. When prospects see you sharing cutting-edge frameworks while their competitors are still playing catch-up, they naturally gravitate toward your monopolistic position. Part 3, educate to dominate. Richard Feynman said, the best way to learn something is to teach it. But here's the business twist. The best way to dominate a market is to educate it. When you broadcast your methodology so loudly that everyone else sounds like they're whispering, you don't just win customers, you create followers. Everyone quotes Buffett's approximately right philosophy, but they use it to justify being lazy, often as not. That's not what he meant. Being approximately right means focusing on the big picture, not perfecting details that don't move the needle. Build moats through reputation, not just superior products. Think in decades, not quarters. Create systems that work without your constant intervention. When you get competitive advantage through teaching instead of hiding, you're playing Buffett's long game. Here's exactly what you need to do in the next 90 days. In the next 1 to 2 weeks, document your methodology, take whatever process gives you an edge, and write it down, step by step. Don't worry about giving away secrets. Worry about proving you have a system. Weeks 3 to 4, start teaching. Share 1 framework per week. LinkedIn articles, industry publications, speaking gigs. Become known for how you think, not just what you've accomplished. Week 5 to 8, create educational content. Turn your methodology into content that makes people feel behind if they're not following you. Case studies, frameworks, decision trees. Week 9 to 12, measure authority, not just revenue. Track who's referencing your frameworks, who's asking for your opinion. Authority leads revenue, not the other way around. This isn't theory. When I started with zero money, no network, and no business background, I had one advantage. I was willing to share what I was learning as I learned it. Instead of waiting until I had all the answers, I documented the questions. Instead of hiding my methodology until it was perfect, I shared it while it was evolving. The irony? By giving away my thinking, I created more demand for my implementation than if I'd kept everything secret. That's the monopoly mindset in action. Here's your choice. Keep buying competitive advantage tactics that leave you competing on everyone else's terms, or use the authority building system that makes competition irrelevant. The clock is ticking. Every day you spend being precisely competitive instead of approximately monopolistic is another day your potential authority compounds for someone else to win. If you want the complete framework and weekly insights that successful leaders use to build monopolistic advantage, subscribe to my Substack at theauthorityfigure.substack.com or learn more about working together with me at davidwhiteconsulting.com. Because the best investment you can't make isn't in your business. It's in becoming the kind of person others turn to when they want to think better about business. Just remember, this reflects my personal experience. It's not professional advice. Seek professional guidance for your specific situation. And if any of this helped you see competition differently, drop a comment below with one framework you're going to start sharing this week. I read every single message.